Press your ear to the pillow and the house picks up your rhythm. Each thud of your pulse travels down the frame until it moves the hallway. Slow, patient, counting doors. 3 steps. Pause. 3 more. The sound slips free of you, a stranger wearing your heartbeat like a borrowed coat. I hold my breath and pin the noise behind my teeth. Silence spreads. Broad, cold, evaluative. I inhale. The steps resume. Hours earlier, the porch light stuttered and came back as I walked in from the yard, shoes wet with dew, palms green from the usual climb. Dinner was loud, the television louder. Nothing in that racket prepared me for the knife-clean quiet that would split the night. Danger rarely announces itself. It lives inside habit. Brushed teeth. Lights out. A blind reach for a doorknob. I wake under a ceiling that isn't a ceiling. The sky has taken the role, pale, moonlight washing the yard. My back is cold. Grass prints my pajamas. The front door squares itself across the lawn. A plastic pool float leans against the mailbox like a witness put there to watch. I stand and my legs misfire. The ground holds. My certainty buckles. A dog tries a bark and lets it go. I draft the convenient report. Sleepwalking. A tidy label. Quickly applied. Quickly dropped. The air shifts and the house recedes an inch it shouldn't. I take a step and every sound multiplies. Blades snapping, fabric breathing, my foot settling as if the yard left a space shaped for it. The shortest path home is a line. Tonight, lines curl. I move for the porch, and the stump by the fence finds me. An old oak cut that usually hides ants and caps. I pivot left, aim for the gate. The stump shows up again, as if it slides on rails. I hug the hedge, count 30, thread the gap by the shed and chain link. The stump waits a 3rd time. The yard reroutes me like a small, mischievous country, and I am its only lost tourist. The porch finally allows me. The door resists, then yields with an oversized click. Inside, the air feels cleaned, as if someone filtered it. I survey the foyer the way people memorize aircraft exits. The tan dog painting leans on the stair wall. The umbrella jar stands empty, as always. The hall runner catches at the threshold where the nail claims its square. I note these details to keep them from turning on me. The bedroom smells like warm laundry. My bed holds an honest dent where I should have been. I fit into it and wait for my heart to settle. It doesn't. The pillow amplifies each beat until it marches outside my door. 3 steps. Pause. A weightless hand posts on the other side of the wood. 3 steps back. Then a manufactured silence. Sleep finally takes me. The body honors treaties the mind can't veto. Morning bleaches the terror. I hunt proof because proof sets rules. A lack of proof invites chaos. The yard shows drag lines toward the fence, threaded scratches where something light moved. The pool float waits by the mailbox like it returned to the scene. I stash it under the deck beside a split bag of charcoal, sweating through paper. I tell no one. You cannot file a complaint about a conclusion. Days behave until they don't. A week later, a sheet of paper appears on the kitchen table. My name sits in the center, almost right. One letter leaning wrong, like a stranger who has heard me more than they've seen me. I slide the note into a drawer, and still it cuts. Photographs turn up where photographs shouldn't. A tight square peeks from beneath the TV stand. My mother at the sink, window glare flattening her into elbows and light. Another lies face down in the hall. I wait for night, then flip it. the side of our house from an angle no passerby could get. The lens sat in the rhododendrons, low, patient, fogging leaves with breath. I write a neighborly excuse, a jammed camera spitting old prints, a cousin dropping a box. The smell doesn't fit. These images carry our dust. They arrive after dusk when the yard changes shape and the hall remembers how to echo. The drip of proof continues, small enough to dismiss, steady enough to wear down denial. The night, the power flickers, the refrigerator lets go, and the house exhales. The porch light dips, revives, fails. Beyond the fence, a nail worries its board. I practice ownership of the corridor. Hand along the wall, steps counted, runner's snag found. The third door frame's paint run tracked. The air considers obedience. 3 steps, pause. If a heart could file grievances, mine would. The rhythm outside the door matches me, until it doesn't. A 4th step lands a fraction late. That slip gives it away. Whatever walks beyond the wood keeps its own time. Fear narrows speech to actions. Do not run. Do not click the lock. Do not announce that you know. I lie on the floor and press my ear to the plank, turning the door into a stethoscope. The steps rehearse, forward, back, a pause stretching into a question, then forward again until the sound touches the bottom crack. Weight rolls to the toes. The hinge clears its throat, a polite sound it stores for memory. Time stalls and drips. Exhaustion wins. Morning slices the room into rectangles. Dishes start their clatter. No one asks about the floor. I keep the door's memory to myself. Daylight erases noise like chalk. Evidence survives daylight. The next clue chooses insult. A gold paper star stuck beneath the mailbox lid. I catch it when the mail taps my knuckles and the lid bounces. The adhesive clings, tired, gummy, still willing. The points bend like someone tested the sharpness. Anywhere else I'd throw it away. There, it announces a hand that tests boundaries like new words, carefully, repeatedly, watching reactions. I remap the house, not rooms, angles, sightlines, nests where a lens could hide. The shrub by the living room window, the decorative shelf that wastes space by the pantry, the crawl space hatch shedding dust. I estimate sill height and picture a ladder I never owned, parked beneath a moon I never invited. Fear is not a hum. It pulses. It allows jokes at lunch, so it can strip you by midnight. It permits football noise and dishwater and easy voices to pad the room. Then it pulls the cushion and hands you a pillow full of footsteps. I study its habits until study feels like complicity. I watch the window. The window holds me in return. We compete to see who blinks first. The last photograph isn't one. A black paper rectangle waits under the mat. Rain loads it like a sponge. When I lift it, dye bleeds a darker ghost onto the concrete, a negative insisting on being seen. I put it back and pin it with my heel, as if I could flatten meaning. Inside, the boards announce me to the frame and, by extension, to whatever listens just beyond reach. Night threads wet oak, faint aluminum, and domesticated air through the jam. I lean into the door. The wood leans back. Beyond it, stillness holds. Then, an improvement, a soft scrape at the baseboard, like a coin gliding along the seam. Not claw, not shoe, a smooth edge tracing the perimeter. It pauses exactly where my toes would appear if I were careless. The edge withdraws. Silence travels down the hall and turns the corner. After a beat that reads like deliberation, the front hinge gives its ceremonial cough. Breakfast looks normal. The sugar bowl is full, though no one refilled it. A spoon rests on the counter, a dime of moisture cooling under its face. I hold the spoon like a thermometer for a patient pretending to be fine. My name sours in my mouth. Last week, the world misspelled it in pencil. Today, it tries again in ink. I stop trusting luck and start respecting timing. Luck flips a coin. Timing lays out a blueprint. The prints, the star, the scrape, a sequence. The sequence does not need my attention. It proceeds with or without witnesses. That is the cruelty. A place you love can be measured by someone else and run on their schedule. Nights change terms. I sleep like a tenant. I keep the window latched and learn the several lies locks sell. I skip the pillow stethoscope. When I drift, I reach the stump again. The yard bends space so gently you can blame yourself. In the dream, the stump vanishes, replaced by pressed earth with ladder rungs imprinted, as if wood rested there long enough for the ground to learn the shape. The final sound signs its name, fabric whispering along the door, a ribbon drawn slow. One breath long. I do not rise. I do not signal knowledge. I let the ribbon finish and keep the period. Morning puts the mask back on. The runner's snag waits. The jar waits. The dog painting smirks. I could stack 1,000 reliabilities and argue for safety. But cases depend on exhibits. Mine live in a drawer. The miswritten name. The kitchen window photograph. The gold star. The black rectangle that isn't a photograph. None shout. All remain. Patience is the trait I can assign with confidence to whoever learned my hallway and studied my heart. People ask why I didn't rip the door open, why I didn't arm myself. Because this is not a loud story. It requires attention, not volume. It selects a witness who counts. 3 steps, pause, then the 4th that misses the beat by a hair. That late step matters. It belongs to a body. I am that witness. I am, regrettably, still on duty. Here is what I know without guesswork. Sometimes the sound under your ear belongs to you, and sometimes it asks for attribution. Sometimes a yard reroutes you because fear shortens direction, and sometimes it reroutes you because someone stands where you cannot see. Sometimes paper is only paper. Sometimes it works as a calling card written in the dark. If there is a lesson, it stays small. Count. Notice. Remember. Counting won't stop anything. Memory will outlast denial when morning perfumes the corridor with ordinary air. Tonight I will sleep because bodies insist. I will restow the pool float under the deck because ritual buys quiet. I will keep the drawer shut. I will not give my heartbeat to the hall. None of this is valor. It is a truce I did not authorize. If the steps return, and they will, whether borne by wood or skin, I will catch the difference again. The door will hold a little longer. The house will add one more mark to the map I never agreed to draw. And when you press your ear to the pillow tonight and the hallway begins to walk, you will learn what I learned. The most dangerous sound isn't the loudest. It's the rhythm that matches you perfectly until it misses by one late step.